friends, thanks for tuning in. In this video I have some random things I want to talk about. I'm just chalking it up to 5 things I'm really loving right now. It's kind of like a mini favorites video. The first thing is this nail polish, and it was the same one I had on before. I've reapplied it since, but this is the LA Colors Color Craze Gel in the shade Au Natural. And I got this from Family Dollar. I think I've seen it at Dollar General as well. But this nail polish is really good. It chipped a little bit like toward the end of the first week that I had it on, but it's just really great for a quick natural nail. One coat looks good. I've got one coat on now. 2 coats I think looks even more finished and probably will last better. I might coat it up one more time. But I don't know, something about this shade feels manageable, and even if it does chip off, it doesn't really show that much. And I just have really enjoyed this. It was just a couple bucks. I would call it like beige with a hint of pink. I really like it. Okay, number 2. This is actually a combo of products. In the past week, as I was trying to rediscover some different things in my collection, I came into a face routine where I'm like, this is really good. It wears incredibly well. I am so impressed by the longevity all day, all over the face, the under eye area. I was just kind of blown away. It's 2 high-end products in a drugstore one. First thing is the foundation. It's Makeup Forever HD Skin. This is a classic foundation that's actually been around for a long time. They've just more recently gone with this packaging. I have a couple of versions of Makeup Forever foundation. I have a glowy one. That one's very pretty as well, but this was just kind of the staying power wow moment. So I get some of that. I'm going to dab it around and blend it in with my Real Techniques sponge, which has kind of been a go-to method for me here lately. And actually, I did just over a pump yesterday, which was kind of rare, but it was absolutely beautiful. Take your sponge, blend that in, dab around. I would call the coverage level of this foundation medium. Oh, the catnip sloth has been brought into the room. We got this foundation all blended in. If you didn't want to use this foundation, I'm trying to think like what from the drugstore is also looking like this. Neutrogena Healthy Skin comes to mind. I think that might be even a little more dewy than this. This is a very natural finish, almost a little matte. Maybe Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless actually reminds me kind of the look I've got. Like, I'm still seeing freckles through. I do have certainly some medium coverage here. It's not especially dewy, it just looks kind of natural. But then I put on my Natasha Denona concealer. I know, a couple of high-end things here, but if you happen to have them in your collection and you want to try this combo, I just felt the need to shout it out because the staying power is really great. But drugstore powder on top of this coming. R2 is my shade in this. This really ends up looking brightening on me. But I'm going to patch some right here and here. Blending this in, look how brightening that is on that plane of the face. And maybe the sponge blending is playing into the reason why these products are wearing so flawlessly, like not looking thick, heavy, makeup-y. I'm using this to just make sure I'm getting in as far as I need to. This is a Sephora 71, but just any compact brush. And I do feel like my Revlon Color Stay Flex Wear behaves very similarly to this. It might just be a little bit thicker than this ultimately. So now that that's all blended in, I'm taking this Wet n Wild powder in the soft pink shade. It's the Photo Focus Loose Setting Powder. This is a new thing that they've done, is put it out in the light pink shade. Triangle powder puff and set the under eye. And yeah, this looked so good all day long. I hit T-zone with it too. Any excess, dust around. There's how we're looking right now. Really good, nothing heavy. I do go into this look well hydrated. I will say I use Vanny Cream Daily Facial Moisturizer. I use that Vanny Cream, the thicker cream, around my eyes as my eye prep. Serums, sunscreen, whatnot, but once this goes on, like, this is really locked in now. So this whole combo, that's my number 2 pick. The step I just went ahead and did is bronzer. I used my this is the Dew Bronze, I believe, in the shade Spritz. So just a little doe foot applicator bronzer. Not completely tied to this one, but it actually reminds me quite a bit of my e.l.f. in tone. And then I went on top of that and set it with my Rimmel Natural Bronze in the shade Sun Bronze. So I've got a little bronze going, and I feel like nude is kind of the vibe for me lately. Like, I got it on the nails, and I'm so loving my Naked Brown blush from Wet n Wild. And I'd say this is kind of rediscovered, but I'm always liking this. It's Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush. This is one of the newer shades they've come out with within the past year or so, and it's a matte blush, very earthy looking, and I just really, really like this. It's toasty. It just really makes it, you know? Like, look at that. Somehow some rosiness comes out of it, just a hint. It's just so pleasing. All of these are good. I mean, get Mellow Wine if you like something with a little berry twist, or get Pinch Me Pink if you want that lighter, cool pink. But when I'm in the mood for this one, like, it's hard to put down when I really get into it, and I'm just really into it now. Look at that. So good, and it's gonna mesh with the eyes that I'm talking about today as well, big time. But yeah, if you have not tried this out, you should. In another video, like, I really centered the entire face around this and used it on the eyes as well. It's just awesome. The fourth thing that I'm really getting into, I've been rediscovering Natasha Denona palettes, okay? I feel like I own a decent amount of them. It seems like a whole underused sector in my collection. Like, get into those palettes, girl. I kind of am guilty of having a little stack of some palettes that I'm always wanting to use, and I'm always reaching for the same little things that are good, but I'm not branching out that much. And I feel like I always say, like, the Natasha Denona My Dream palette is the best palette Natasha Denona has made, in my opinion, for my preferences. That doesn't mean I can't get use out of the other ones I have, you know, just because I've declared that. But I'm really enjoying the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. I like it so much more than the I Need a Nude. I feel like this is more well balanced. There's more darkness, mid, and light going on here, whereas I think with the I Need a Nude, it was like one dark shade and just a bunch of mid tones and light tones. You would have to say, like, yeah, I'm seeing some warm shadows. Nothing's all out orange, but it does give like kind of a toasty look when all is said and done, and I've just really been liking that look. I can enjoy warm and cool looks, but if I had to pin it down to a favorite, I love doing and seeing myself in a nice warm look, and I feel like it falls right in line with the blush I'm loving too, which is that Naked Brown. I'm just going to do a quick eye look with this today. I'm going to go to Ripe right over here in the corner, and we're just going to get that going in the old crease. But you talk about staying power as well. This lasts too. I love being able to see my eye look, see my face late in the day and think, don't need to touch anything up here. And it helps if I'm wearing contacts most of the time and I don't have like that little glasses thing. What do you guys do about glasses that are sitting on your nose? And it's like, yeah, that is an area where your makeup's gonna wear down. I just touch up with powder like midway through the day because I feel like the glasses make that area wear down and make it seem oilier just for being there, just for resting on that spot. That's something I do, like a lightish powder, like a Kosas Cloud Set or something. So that's Ripe. And then I have Mellow over here, which is a little lighter but still has a peachy quality to it. And even going way back to high school days, I liked seeing a peach tone up under my brow. Like, I just had a sense that that brought things to life, and I kind of like the merging of these two shades. It gives me that peachy feel. I'm adding a little more Ripe over here. Speaking of Ripe, speaking of fruit, I got a lot of fruit and veggies in my last grocery order. Like, I'm eating fresh this week, gang. One fruit I'm really loving lately is cantaloupe. And you cut one of those puppies up, they smell so good. And like, I've just got multiple containers of cut up cantaloupe now in my fridge, and the girls like it too. And they're big on fruit as well. Like, they'll wake up in the morning, I'm making them plates of fruit. Got strawberries, blueberries, grapes, of course. I've got the little oranges and also apples. Have you guys tried the Cosmic Crisp apples? So sweet. So very good and sweet. I'm trying to take out all sweetness cravings through fruit this week. I'm going to go a step deeper now, and this palette does make it easy with the gradient. Got enough shades that are kind of close in the same family. For example, we've worked with this, and now I'm going to go down here to Fervor, this matte, kind of warm brown, and I'm going to get that going in the crease too. Not just outer crease, but bring it in also. Just depth, adding depth, building slowly. My vibe with this, my mode of application is very self-explanatory. We're working mid-tones in. We're going to have some depth in the outer corner, And then we're gonna pick one of several beautiful shimmers that we can play with on like the inner half of the lid. Or you could keep it matte. But I would love to hear in the comments section what Natasha Denona palette you really, really like. I'm gonna go down here to Pep, this dark brown, flat brush, tapping in. For me, the all-time fave, like I said, is the one called My Dream Palette. I love that there's warmth in that, but there's also plums. Like, it's just so many favorite type of shades that I have put in there. I think she did an awesome job with that. But very much enjoying this one. I don't think she makes it anymore, but the one called the Bronze Palette, I always really liked that. But this is like a dark, cool brown. And I think it's fun when warm meets cool a little bit. Like that makes you think of horizon line, and this makes you think of sunset, you know, up above it. And then you can just take your fluffy blending brush and help work that darkness in a little more, or you could come in with a smaller brush and get a more targeted like shape. I might go a little lighter. I'm gonna go to Vim right here. It's still matte, and I'm like hitting the crease and letting it come up above too. And I know I haven't gotten to the lips yet, but there's a monochromatic nature with things. You know, right down to my nails, really. Got that kind of nude brownish cheek. We got this going on. Need to make sure I'm getting it even though. A Profusion small pointed brush is so handy. I'm taking little circular motions and just paying attention to how I'm shaping it. Doesn't have to be some big bold shape, but just that little bit of darkness is going to be enough to give the look of lift to the eye. Then I take a smaller flat brush and I think, what little bit of glimmer do I want to give this look? Like, I've got options here. I've definitely worked with this one called Dynamism. Sometimes take a little bit of that and like make it my halfway point. So I feel like I'm overlapping some brown with that, and then I'm gonna ease into one of the brighter shimmers. Does that make sense? Tap, tap, tapping. How would I even describe this one? It looks more bronze in application. It looks more taupe, I feel like, in the pan. But yeah, do that. I'm gonna take Elm now, this real smooth shimmer right out over here. And just bring that in from your inner corner. And the brightness just wakes up the eye. It's smooth, it's not too much. Elm, ugh. And there are a lot of good shades in here that like I didn't even reach for today. But that's my look. It's not exceptionally unique at all. It's just kind of an appreciation of good colors, good textures, good color story and grouping in this palette. I also like the feel of the palette. I like the kind of chunkiness of a Natasha Denona palette. And the way I finish my eye look before I go into liner, take a deep shade across the upper lash line. Let's use something other than the norm. Let's actually take a Caviar stick in Cocoa. This step could also be an e.l.f. No Budge shadow stick in Cool Beans. It could be Maybelline I Am Determined. It could be Lay Shadow Stick in Brown Abyss, but today I'm using this. This is just, I don't know, maybe the OG. Deep brown. This actually does have a little shimmer, but keeping it along my upper lash line, like the outer part. And I don't know if you can tell how much that looks like it thickened up the lash line. You don't have to even smudge it. Like it's going down in that thick, pre-smudged way. So simple, so good. And then Cold Brew from Hard Candy, a bronzy, more mid-tony stick. That's what can come right under here and really complement this particular look with the bronzy tones. See, love. Don't always feel like going down here with something, but man, do I love Cold Brew. That's my eye look, but I just need to add mascara. Okay, mascara is on. I used today Benefit Roller Lash, and I like this. I like the texture on my lashes. I think it assists the curl a little bit, but then I was like, yeah, I want more extension out, and so I topped off with the Maybelline Sky High. I feel like anytime I finish a lash look and I'm like, more length, I just pop some of this on because it's like wet enough to just layer nicely and easily on top of anything, just with a little coat. So my fifth thing I'm loving. What the heck with these? These are awesome. I love these. ColourPop, so juicy. They've come out with pearl versions of their plumping lip pen. I received these in PR. I've got the little handout here. These are the shades we're talking about. 6 different shades. I feel like these swatches here are showing a lot of color. You don't always see that much differentiation on your lips, but I'm gonna try some of these on, and I like using these as part of a lip look, okay? For example, one of these lighter ones I was using the other day, this one called Girly Pop top. It's the one they call Baby Pink. So you're going to click it up, but it's got this shimmer in it that just pops off. So like I might not wear this all over my lips, but I might definitely incorporate that color on top of a lip liner, you know, because it's really reflecting. Scent is lightly sweet, good thickness. Like I like the way these feel. This next one, Cyberstar, it looks even more pinky than the last one, but like it's a shimmer. It's a pearl. Like look at it, just center of the lips. See that? It pops off, but in a balmy feeling way, not like it's lip gloss. I'm putting these on, but really the way I love them is as part of a lip look, and I'll ultimately get there too. Next, they list Angel Baby right here. Looks bronzy. They call it Peachy Nude. Okay, looks like this in the stick. Swiping on. I just love the way they feel. Like the thickness is so good. Not too slick, not too slippery. Look at that. We're starting to get into shades that could be worn full on as is. 3 more shades that all appear deeper. Let's go to Teeny Time. That's the one that looks kind of like a deep rose in the tube. Clicking up. Oh my goodness. That look, that dimension. Hello. That is so fun. You don't feel any grit on your lips, just smooth, like rich balminess. Then we've got one called Perfection. They call it Warm Bronze. That's going to be this one right here. Do you see what I mean when I put it on? And it's like, yeah, that's looking beautiful and all. I love that. But it's not quite as dark and like intensely colorful as that row looks. But I could love that any day of the week. And then finally, LOVE. This is Rich Chocolate. Yes, they do spell it out with the hyphens. Here, you're going to see some darkness. Where were you in my brown lips video? Oh, I'm so into it. And pairing these with lip liners and creating different lip looks. I feel like my top 2, I like that Teeny Time one and I like Perfection, the rose and the bronze. But then it's kind of nice to take like Girly Pop or one of those lighter ones and use it as kind of a spotlighting shade. Let me really try to get some of this removed. I've got a lot of shimmer building up here. So here's just an example of the way I might pull a look together here. Using a lip liner, this is Boyfriend from Hard Candy. Fill in. It's brownish, it's toasty. You know, this is going to work with our whole look. And knowing you're going to go in with some of this shimmer, leave a little in the center of your bottom lip here. Leave a little bare. For whatever reason, I'm rushing as I apply this and I'm getting sloppy. I'm just excited. Let's see. Let's take Teeny Time, the rose. Look at this. Look how that pops off. And then just kind of mush it into the look. You don't need to coat everything with this. The dimension that creates and the feel really feels pleasant on there. That's a great one. And then if I were to just give a little blot and say, what does one of the lighter ones look like? Here's Girly Pop. See, even more contrast. Why is this so enjoyable? It's right up there with applying matte eyeshadow. Like, they're fun. Highly enjoyable. Yeah, maybe it's taking me back to that high school frosty lip place, but in a good way. I'm just really liking those. It's a very good formula and just a fun little spotlighting way to bump up lipsticks and lip liners. Just pop some of that on. Let me take the hair down. I used hot rollers in my hair yesterday and I feel like I'm still taking advantage of what they're doing. So this video was about the 5 random things I'm loving, but I like how in kind of this monochromatic way everything's coming together. Just the nudie softness. I'm liking that look. Again, it was my little nail polish here that I got from Family Dollar. It's this delicious little combo for coverage from Makeup Forever, Natasha Denona, and then the Wet n Wild. It's Wet n Wild Naked Brown as the blush. Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette. Love that. So beautifully inviting and eye framing there, right? And then on the lips, these fun little ColourPop pins working into your lip look, or like the deeper shades wearing as is. I think they're so nice. So thank you everyone for spending time with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you again very soon. I love you. Bye.